Okay, so I think we can start the session. Welcome all. I'm sharing my screen. Kindly let me know once you're able to see it. So in our last class, we have gone through with this CICD pipeline, right? So we have created a pipeline and then we have integrated this with the branch. And after raising a pull request, we can see some pipeline got triggered. So this was the thing that we did in our last session. So any queries from last session? No? Okay, today we will start integrating our DevOps pipeline with Salesforce application. So because now we will have the real-time experience with our Salesforce sandbox. So usually if I give some introduction about Salesforce, it is a CRM application. Okay, just understand it as any application where the development happens. And as a Salesforce developer, you got some tasks to automate the validation and deployment. Because currently developer and some business guy are manually doing the validation, deployment, all other activities in Salesforce environment. And now they came to DevOps team. Apart from using the repository branches and all, they want us to automate their validation and deployment process. So how we can achieve it? So the first steps for that automation we did in our last class, where we have created a pipeline. So you can have your folder structure based on the projects. Okay, you can give any name, and then we have created some pipeline here, right? So that was a YAML pipeline. So once the pipeline was created, so that time I have referred UAT branch, I believe, and then the default YAML was present from like default YAML was given by Azure DevOps only, and then we have integrated this YAML pipeline with our branch UAT branch. For that we have referred our branch policies, right? So this is one of the way by which we can integrate our pipeline with the branch. Okay, in branch policies, we have added the build validation, right? This one. Here we have selected the pipeline that we want to run. And then there was some approval we have added. So once this is done, what happened next? We have raised some PR, right? Now we have a thing like in UAT, if there will be any pull request raised, the pipeline will get triggered. Which pipeline? Which we have added in the branch policies. Okay. And then we have seen our run here like this. If I open any of the PR from our last class, so this got triggered, right? There was a default YAML present in the UAT branch that in that pipeline, and accordingly the pipeline got triggered, the build was generated. And then I also explained regarding the YAML. So what was the basic concept here? Like the trigger. So based on this trigger only, the pipeline get triggered. If it is none, it means it will not get triggered with respect to any commit in the branch. Currently it is main. It means if anything is committed to main branch, then that pipeline will get triggered. And this pool again, I said right. This is our virtual machine that get spin at the time of build run. So where all the, you can consider this as a virtual machine where all the dependencies was installed and all operation got performed. And then we have a steps, right? Here it is just a print hello world. So this is the default things you can say. Now if I talk about the Salesforce integration, so I will just give you, because I have prepared something. So this is the prerequisite. It means we want a Salesforce application first, right? So here is a small steps, because I just found one good article to get a Salesforce sandbox with our local setup. Okay, you can refer this link just for the practice. So you can try, look, currently I am giving example with Salesforce. It can be anything, right? So I just chose Salesforce application to showcase the integration which happens in the DevOps. Okay, I can ping you this link. I will guide you how to create a Salesforce org. We don't want to do much thing in the Salesforce. We just want a Salesforce environment, the username thing, password and all, so that we can do the authentication and we can write a small piece of code, okay, for the validation. I have already written this code, right? That class on. So that is enough. We are not a developer. We're just trying to test it, right? And what all issues you will get at the time of doing the integration, that we will see right away. Okay. So that link I already pasted you. So if you go to that link, so this is the first step. So you can give any name, like based on your first name, last name, your email address where you can get the like link and all. Role, anything. You can give it developer. Company name, you can write anything. Okay. And then postal, any address, any India address you can give. Then once you sign up, so you will get some link in the whatever mail you are using. From there, the sandbox will get created. So mine sandbox is this. I provided this username and then password was generated based on this. Okay. So once I have done with this, what happened? Where is my sandbox? Yeah, you can see. So this is the Salesforce org. Okay, like this you will see it. In home I will go. So this is the Salesforce org in real time. And this is my local sandbox that I have created based on my Gmail, Hotmail. Okay. So we just need this Salesforce org. So you want to create it right away. So this is very small steps so that you can also do practical in your local system. Or you want, then I can provide you access of my test sandbox, and then you can create the pipeline. Whatever step I will suggest you. So what way you want to go? The step I already said how you will get the environment. Okay, we just need a one sample environment. If for practice, what I can do is I can create your user here. If you don't want to create your own sandbox, what I can do, I can create your user. So you will be able to access this sandbox. Okay, you will have your own username and all. Accordingly, you will be able to do this. So either way is possible. And one more thing I will say, in current market, what I can say, there are lots of demand for Salesforce DevOps. And I can guarantee that from Salesforce perspective, it's not like you need to be a developer. Only admin part you need to understand. That's it. As a Salesforce DevOps, because there is a separate opening coming for Salesforce DevOps. So one opening you can search based on DevOps, Azure DevOps, right? Second, lots of opening is coming from Salesforce DevOps, a DevOps guy who know something about the Salesforce, who can integrate Salesforce with our Azure DevOps and all. Okay, there are separate sets of opening coming, and lots of pay they will give. The, the percentage of money they are giving is very high for the Salesforce DevOps. Okay, now what I will do. So tell
Manish,
me, yeah.
Manish, what do you mean by admin knowledge?
So admin knowledge means, let's say if they want you to create a user, they want you to check if deployment is success or not, they want you to configure something. Okay, some
Okay.
settings, they want to, like, they want some update in the sandbox, and they will provide you, okay, just change this setting. They will provide you some steps, the
Do there be
basic
any,
understanding as admin guy.
even for that, is there any certification for Salesforce admin?
So there is one certification, yeah, Salesforce admin certification. So this is the first certification from Salesforce itself. Okay, so that is enough. Also, I have
Okay.
recently seen, like, lots of people are giving interview for Salesforce DevOps. So they never ask for the certification. It's not like this is compulsory to sit in the interview.
Okay.
So once you are in the organization, they will provide you free certification. Otherwise, it is paid one. Let's say 5,000, I believe, the cost of the certification. But this is not much to have. You can say, okay, so that is in your pipeline, but you can give the interview. And
Okay.
from interview perspective, they only want how to integrate. That's it. As a normal DevOps guy, if you have some extra knowledge of Salesforce where you can provide, okay, this is the process by which we can do the validation and deployment. So that is enough. That is enough to get entry as a Salesforce DevOps. We are not saying like you will be expert guy there, but for that entry level or maybe 3 or 4 year, 5 years experience, that is fine. So you will learn once you get in. Okay. Because I have seen these days the interview is not that vast. Okay, if you have basic knowledge, because these are the new technology. Salesforce is getting boom these days, right? So they don't have much resources who knows Salesforce apart from a guy who is a Salesforce developer. There was only the person, there was person who has worked in the Salesforce application will get to know, right? Otherwise, other person only know the DevOps or based on some specific tool set. Let's say Java integration, .NET, MuleSoft, whatever. Okay.
Okay, got it. Got it, Manish. Thank you.
Now I will show you something. I will go step by step. Okay. So
Wait
what I
here,
will.
if you give, if,
Sorry, come again.
if you give access to me, still I can create my own account, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, then no. Give me access.
Access to this Salesforce environment.
Yes, I send the mail ID as well because I'll
Okay.
create my own ID later.
Okay. I will create your user here, and with your like you will get a password reset link, and
Okay.
accordingly you can set it, and you can log into the sandbox org. This sandbox org.
And okay, then I don't have to create another account,
You
right?
don't
This
need to
itself
create
is
another account, right?
okay. I've shared my email ID.
Okay, I will do that. So you want me to do right now? Later I can do. For
Manish,
now, I
Okay,
will.
fine.
Manish,
Okay,
I
fine,
think
fine.
for practice purpose, now better let everyone have their own account.
Okay, that is also fine.
Yeah, better everyone will have their own account so they can do practice and they can do more hands-on experience.
Okay,
Yes.
then
Yeah, you
I'll
can
create
guide
on my
them
own.
to create account. Yeah, better Manish, you can guide them to create their own account.
Okay, so let's start then. So it will not take much time. So it is good to have this account, right? You will get some real-time things. So if you can open this link that I have shared, and then if you click on the first steps link, you will be navigated to the form. If you can quickly fill it. So it's straightforward, user-friendly form. Okay, nothing different. If you guys can start it. So I will just give few minutes, okay? So kindly start with the process. So this is right point. If you get some hands-on, that will be good. Otherwise, it's just here and there, right? I'm saying you're listening. And one more thing, I have seen lots of guys using my Azure DevOps account. So it will be good. You have your own setup, okay? So that you can have your clean pipeline and other branches. Just let me know if you have any queries, okay? You can ping over chat or you can speak directly. Mukesh, you can also follow. So you have this Azure account, Mukesh?
Yes, Manish, I have already this account, so I'm trying to log in.
Okay, fine.
But
So you have gone through with our last session, right?
no, I have already from before. So I was using that one.
Okay, fine.
Hi Manish, I'm having a different screen showing up for the login.
So what screen you are getting?
Sign up with Google and all.
So if you can open in the incognito, I don't know if there's any default setting you have that is getting to the next steps. So you're not getting this form. If you
No.
if you open in the incognito,
Okay, try.
and one more thing regarding interview, just listen, okay? If you are applying for Salesforce DevOps, you have this understanding of Azure DevOps, whatever I am showing, okay? And then if you get some Salesforce understanding, then you will easily get package of 15 plus, what I can say. It all based on your hard work. If you give some time every day, so it's very easy, I can say, from from market perspective. Because I'm in touch with many guys who are just going with the interview process and all, and then I got this type of feedback from them only. Okay.
You mean how many experiences you need to show for 15 plus?
So let's say if you have a total IT experience of more than 5 years, that is fine. Even for 3 4 years, we are getting more than 10 lakh. If it is more than 5, then it can be anything above 15. It all based on your interview.
They are not considering total experience, relevant experience they are
So
asking.
you can say, look, in your experience letter, it is not mentioned in what technology you have worked on, right? So that's what I'm saying. So you need to be prepared in a way that you are confident that okay, you have worked in this thing since last 4 year, 5 year. It's never matter. Only the thing is you know all the answers what they're asking. There are limited sets of question I can say. One and
So,
two be here and there. Again, that will come based on experience. If you give, let's say, 5 interview, you will get to know, okay, these are the questions being asked.
yeah, great and understood. Thank you, Manish.
So that is again different mindset if you want to crack an interview. Even a people who are very sound technically in some application, he or she is not able to crack the interview because interview is different thing, right? Apart from your knowledge, the confidence and the answer you carry, what they are asking. Because the guy who taking the interview has some different mindset. He or she also have some different questions, right? Not practically every time. It all depends. That's what I'm saying.
Yes,
At the end,
totally
it
agree.
it requires some effort. You need to give some time to learn everything, right? It's
Yeah,
not
that's why
always
I asked about admin and how to get that admin knowledge. So you suggested a certificate, right?
correct. Apart from
Yes.
certification, also you can learn. So that is
Yeah.
second thing, secondary thing, right? Getting a certification.
Manish, are you talking to us? You are in mute.
No, no, no.
Okay, fine.
Let's wait. So what I can do, let me show you something. Let me explain you. Is it done? So how many you have like successfully created this Salesforce environment? Few only. Maybe it is taking time to receive some OTP, I believe. It takes some time. I got in within 5 minutes. Someone will expect it to be delivered within 10 minutes. It depends. Okay, now kindly focus to my screen. What I can do. Okay. So we have this. This is our SF environment. Okay. Here is our, let's say, pull request. Let me show you. This is our dev branch. This is our feature. You able to see my screen, right? Now here we have foo class, foo1. So this is my class name. Okay. I just gave this random name foo2. Now I want to move these changes to dev branch. Okay. And this dev branch is our code base. This SF dev environment is our actual Salesforce environment, right? So we want this code base to be deployed here every time, right? Whatever new changes will be merged into dev, it should go to SF dev environment. Then only our final outcome will come. We got a requirement. Developers started working in the new feature. So they have created one feature branch from dev. Okay, feature branch from dev. Now they have done some coding. So they have created these two files, foo1, foo2. Now he or she want to merge these changes to dev branch, and then our output will be this code need to be deployed into SF dev environment. Correct? So this dev branch is code base of this dev environment. Now they will raise a pull request. Correct? As I have shown in our Azure DevOps in our last session. So they will raise a pull request. So here in pull request in file section, what we will see? foo1, foo2. Correct? In file section, we can see this. Now, so this is our delta. Delta means difference between source and target. Okay. So here the difference is these two classes. So this is our delta. So delta means whatever is difference we're getting from source to target, the new things that we are committing, It can be if you're updating any existing file or creating any new file. So both will be considered as a delta. So that are the new changes that we are trying to push into the target branch. Here the source branch is feature, target is dev. Okay. So our aim is to deploy this delta into Salesforce environment. After merging it or before merging it, you can say before merging we can validate it, right? If this is right or not, if it is passing or failing. So this is our condition, right? So what will be the first step? From before writing a script, going with the script, what we need to visualize, right? What can happen? What need to be achieved in the pipeline perspective? Before that, let's understand the manual. In manual, what we will do? We will go to the, we will log into the, let's say if you want to do something manually, log into the SF org, right? SF environment. Second, you will take a delta, not say delta, let's say in manually what we can say, get step to perform, right? And then execute. So manually, if we want to do any changes into Salesforce environment, what we'll do, we will log into Salesforce environment, whatever step we want, we need to consolidate that things and then execute into the environment. So by this, manually we can do any changes to Salesforce environment. Now from script we want to do, right? So this step means to create these two classes and then execute, right? So that we can do manually. Now I need to think the same way. Same way we need to perform via pipeline. So what will be the steps? Authenticate, right? Authenticate to SF dev. So this is our SF dev, right? So the authentication need to be done, correct? And then execution.
Manish, may I ask something?
Yeah, ask.
You said at the beginning we are taking this tip for Delta to Sandbox. Now we are doing Salesforce dev environment. Is there any difference between Sandbox and dev environment?
No, like in Salesforce terminology, they used to say environment sandbox is same, right?
Okay.
You can
So
say org, sandbox, environment, it is same.
same. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
So authenticate to SF dev environment Salesforce sandbox. Okay. Then the execution will be done. Correct. Now tell me one thing. Is this enough to achieve this thing? Authentication and execution. Yeah, in execution, we can say validation. First, we will do validation and then deployment, right? Tell me if you can like pitch in. Tell me if this is enough to achieve this flow, delta and all. Only authentication and validation execution. So I don't think this is enough because I have explained lots of things here, right? Like we only want this delta, whatever change we are pushing. But here there is no steps of delta. Manually, we can directly take this step and perform. But here, do we have anything? If I talk about pipeline perspective, we are just authenticating and then validating. So what we will validate? So this is the question, right? This is a question mark. What we will validate? So now you can say, okay, we need this delta code also, right? We need this delta code also. So prerequisite will be we should have this delta code and that delta code will be validated or deployed to the Salesforce environment. Correct? So generate delta. Then we can authenticate. Okay. And then we can validate or deploy. Okay. So it is clear, right? So I'm just trying to think like you need to visualize what you want to write first. Now writing a script, how to achieve it, that is different scenario. But first we need to understand the flow. And for your information, these are the things which will be asked if you are going for an interview. So let's say for Salesforce, they will say, okay, tell me the process, end-to-end process, how you will continue. So these are the things only the experienced guy will get to know, right? Who have worked into the SF environment. Random DevOps guy never understand this, because as a DevOps engineer, at least they want you to explain, okay, give me some example where you have automated the process. So you can say Salesforce. So we have tagged in the Salesforce organization, and then next you can go ahead with what we can discuss, what we are discussing. Okay. Now this is generate delta. Now again, so there will be some script, right? So to achieve this thing, again, there will be some script, some command and all, right? So for that also, like any script, how any script is triggered based on our command. So there is always a dependency. So first, if I give you example of, let's say if you want to play some game, to play any game in your mobile, you need to download this from Play Store and then install it, right? Then only you can get feature of that game. You will be able to play it. Or let's say Microsoft Office, if you want to use any Microsoft Office application, first you will download it, install it, and then only you will be able to open Excel, Word, whatever. The same way, if you want to utilize any script, the installation will be there, right? The dependency from where that command libraries will be downloaded. So the prerequisite for all these steps will be, we need to have all the dependency installed in the virtual machine from pipelines perspective, right? Let's say Ubuntu latest. So there we are not using our local system. There we will be using a virtual machine, right? So like this is the flow. Now I will show you how we can achieve in the YAML. So if you have any question in this flow, just let me know, because this is very important.
I do have a question, Manish. You
Just ask.
never said about delta earlier. If you go back and show us what is the difference between the source and the target we have made using this feature branch, and how that delta code is there. Because for validation, again, we need to bring this delta to Salesforce is what you said, right?
Correct, yes.
Yes, but you never showed us delta earlier. If you could show it, that will clear some sort of doubts.
Okay, so again, so this delta thing I will be showing you, but before that, because I am
Yeah, it's
not
fine.
created. Mhm.
If it is coming in the next class, it's totally fine.
Yeah, so in next class, not next class, so like next we will discuss about this delta only.
Okay.
But why I said we have seen this delta, let me explain. Okay, let me rub this thing, because I'm just using the screen, otherwise it will keep coming. So why I'm not able to rub this? Okay, then. So if I open any pull request, this one, okay. So this is our delta. You can see in this branch, if I open parallel, we have these many files, right?
Yes.
Same number of file we can see here, but there is a difference. If I open this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 class. Here, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 classes only there. And that new classes is getting shown under file section. So this is the new changes that we are trying to push from source, that is feature demo test2, to target, that is our UAT branch. So in this scenario, the changes is considered as a delta. In file section, you will always see all the changes, and all the changes will be termed as a delta changes.
And where is
delta
the
of the
code?
sphere.
Where is the code for the delta?
Code for delta, didn't get your point.
Said that we need to get for validating purpose. We need to get the
Okay, yeah,
delta code.
that I will I will show you. Okay, for now just understand what is this, but
Yeah.
next I will show you. Okay,
Okay, no problem.
the code and all, because from here it will not trigger, right? Now there is a process. I said you know that everything need to be present in the virtual machine, right? So this delta will be, you can say, packed in one container, or you can say one place, right? So that our Salesforce command or other validation command can refer that file and use this for validation and deployment. So that is next scenario. Okay. But from theory perspective, if you have any queries as of now, because that theory I will show you in practical in few minutes after this only. First, I just want to ask if this is clear or not. Functionally, it is clear or not. Then the same thing we will achieve from YAML script step by step. Okay.
Okay.
Manish, can you repeat this again?
Which one? Okay, from start.
Yeah.
So it's like what we are doing is, this is our source, this is our target. Okay, this is our environment. Okay, this is environment, this is target branch. Here I have created one class. Okay, now I want to move these changes to target branch. So this is our delta, right? This will be our delta. Now when we raise a pull request and then just click on complete, this foo1 class will be merged to this target branch, right? But in our DevOps scenario, real-time scenario, we don't want to directly move our changes from feature to source target branch directly. First, this piece of code need to be validated at some environment. So here we are referring Salesforce environment. So we want these changes to be validated first here, right? So to validate it, what we need to do? We need to first generate a delta. Okay, we need to generate a delta, and then once this is generated, we will authenticate to the environment. Okay, and then we will use this delta for validation and then deployment if it is passed. So by this validation is done here for this piece of code. So this is green, then we will complete our PR. So we can say our code is defect free, not defect free, issue free, you can say. It is good to be merged to the branches because this will be easily deployed to any target org because the validation related issues is now solved. There is no issues, correct? Now same thing we will achieve using script. So there I will show you that like piece of code that we can use for this type of steps. Okay, and then in last of what I said, to do all these steps there is some sfcli command. Okay, and that command requires some libraries. The prerequisite is we need to install some libraries so that the command will be triggered, right? Not triggered, command we can utilize. Otherwise it will say this command is not found because we don't have any installation for that, right? The dependency things. I gave you example of Microsoft Office or games, right? If you want to utilize anything, first we need to have that thing in our system. So here the system is Ubuntu latest virtual machine. Okay. Try to visualize this because now we are not only thinking from developer perspective, what happens in backend so that the piece of code get live somewhere, how this is getting deployed to any environment, dev, int, uat, and production. So that backend part we are trying to understand here, and how DevOps is used to automate all these steps. Okay, So as you can see, right, these all will be written one time and later enhancement will be there. And the life of developer will be so easy. They just need to raise a pull request. Now all the validation deployment is happening automatically. So they don't need to think about doing this manual. So lots of time is getting saved, right? So time is money. So this is proved here because their delivery time will be very fast now. They don't need to spend much time on deployment. If you have any like even small question, you can quickly ask. It's good that everything is getting cleared. I don't want to go on speed. Any question?
Yeah, yes, Manish. First you added full 1, then full 2, then full 3, then full 4. So which delta we need to select to send it to
All
say
delta. Look, I will show you. So good question. I will, if you have some, let me remove this. Now it will be clear.
yes.
So what I'm trying to say, look, so whatever thing is getting inside this file, now you got the point, right? So only this foo4 class is something which is present in this source branch and missing in target branch, correct? So
Yes.
and you can see that changes here. Now I will show you one thing. Okay, I will keep this pull request active. Here it is foo4, right? Now I will do some other changes. Just say in the source branch. Let's say I will do changes in foo CLS. 1, 2, 3. So this is again new changes which is not present in target branch, that is UAT. So expectation is this should come under this delta. So this is a UI things for our delta, like how we can see the delta. So this is the UI provided by Azure DevOps. Okay, the changes we can directly see here. I will refresh it. I am not committed. Okay, let me commit it. Now it is committed to this. Now when I refresh it, see, got it? Now you said foo, let's say it's not about a foo or anything else. Okay, I will update something here. Whatever changes, that changes will be considered as a delta only. Look, got it?
Yeah, got it.
And only these three file will be considered as a delta for this pull request, because delta means that the differences between source and target when we raise a pull request. It's not like only one class, two class, n numbers of class or one numbers of class. The changes depends, right? Clear?
Yeah, yeah, clear, Manish.
Okay, fine. Now, okay, any other queries? So these are the small queries which the value is very high. Okay.
Anisha, I have a question. I
Yes,
know
yes.
I came a little late. Can you just take like 1 minute what you to let me know what you did on Salesforce and stuff? You just created an account?
So yeah, so as we know that we're trying to have a practical example, right? To
Yes.
achieve the CICD, the validation deployment, how to integrate with any application. So here I chose Salesforce application to do the practical. So as a prerequisite, so I asked team to create a Salesforce account. For that, I provided this link, and referring all the steps, they are able to create a Salesforce environment. Okay,
Got the
so
account. Did you do any kind of project in Salesforce?
so here we will just try to do some integration and we'll deploy one small piece of code.
That's
So
it.
whatever
Okay.
is required from DevOps perspective, so that we will do. So because we are not a Salesforce developer.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you.
So this account you have created?
Yes, yes. I have done long time. I have 11 days left, so yeah, should be good.
Okay, fine, no problem. Anyway, later you can refer the recording and like follow the steps. Okay. Okay. Cool. Now I will let me close these many tabs. Okay. This is my deployment. Let me create one feature branch. Not from here.
So I'm sorry, did you create a new project for Salesforce or you just using the
No, using the
existing?
same. Using the
Okay.
same. Okay, fine. Now, or let me create from dev only. Otherwise, there will be conflict. Oh my God. Okay, so for dev, I am using this. Now what I will do, because I have lots of code here, okay? So I will go step by step, so it will be easy to understand. From dev, I will copy. Here what I will do, I will remove this. Because alignment is must to have, okay? I will explain you everything. So this is not hard. Okay, so this we know, right? Trigger none. So why I have choose none? Because I just want to utilize this for pull request. I don't want this to be triggered whenever there are any commit. Okay, so that's why I have used this none. So you can quickly ask me if you have any queries. Okay, right away. After every steps, I will try to ask if you have any queries. Okay. So trigger none. So this is clear, right? Just anyone can tell me yes or no. And then pool again, Azure Pipeline, Ubuntu latest. So this is our virtual machine. Okay. So this virtual machine getting triggered based on our agent. So agent is again that utilized for creating a virtual machine. This is Microsoft hosted. If I can show you quickly. Yes, agent pool, you can see Azure Pipeline. So this is Microsoft hosted agent. So with the help of this agent and whatever operating system you want, the image that is created based on that virtual machine. Okay. So we get that environment like our local system by having this line, and then this will refer automatically to this agent. Okay. And we used to get one free agent by Microsoft Azure DevOps. You remember I have submitted one form. So after a few days, we got this approved, and then they assigned me one agent. And if you want more than one, when we work in the real-time project, then we need to buy this agent. Okay, we can add multiple pool and all. Okay, so there is some separate process that is very like small form that we need to fill. So that is again some admin part from Azure DevOps. Okay, now before starting with any steps, so this job is getting written like jobs means so complete task which we want to perform, the sets of tasks that we want to perform will comes under job. Okay, and under job we will have multiple steps. That steps is again the prerequisite. We need to install something, we need to generate the delta, publish this delta into our repository, not repository, into our virtual location, and then later we will utilize it for the validation and deployment. Okay, so if I talk about the syntax that is written here, so this is the default syntax of YAML. Okay, if I write like this, will change the space, again the error will be thrown. So this syntax will be the default one, okay, the fixed one which we need to follow. So when you start doing this it by your own, you will get to know, you will have a practice, okay, we need this space, this alignment is required to achieve the YAML script. Okay, but the format will be same. If you want to create any jobs, this will be the format. The steps, this will be the format. Okay, the task, this will be the format. Here I can say I have written bash, so I want to utilize the bash script. So that's why this is a default syntax that is provided to utilize any bash script. Okay, by this all the dependencies of bash script is automatically installed at runtime. So we don't need to go in deeper in this. You can say, okay, this is the libraries that we want to utilize. The installation and all will be done. Okay, so if I start from beginning, again, trigger is none because I don't want to run this pipeline. Whenever there is a commit, pool, again, the image and all, jobs, from jobs we will start. So I've just given a random name. It can be anything, display name, build package or whatever. It depends. Okay, so whatever you want to provide, again, this will be the unique name. It's based on you, what you want to provide. Okay, now steps. The first steps will be, so we know that all the operation that we want to perform, that will be based on my current repository. So here it is demo team one. To check out the current repository, we can, like, this is the syntax, checkout and self. Okay, if you want to check out some other repository, then that repository name need to be provided. So here in our case, most of the case, because we need to work on the same repository, right, the deployment and all, so that YAML should contain self checkout. Fetch depth, so it is again, it's like how much history you want to consider when you are cloning this, when you are doing the checkout for this repository. If I keep it as a 10, so it will take lots of time, because I know I only want a recent changes, because if you are working in delta validation and deployment concept, so there it is good to keep fetch depth lower. I will not say, okay, go with 1, because I don't want complete recent things. I just want like last few changes will be considered. So why I have taken this phase step 2? So it will save my time. If you want to check out complete code base from beginning, then it will take some time, right? To trigger a build, a checkout process will take time. But if you want to save time, you know that, okay, we don't want the like complete commit. It is just a delta. So you can give it 2, 3, 4, anything else. Okay. I just kept it 2 because we are having very less commit. Okay. If you keep it as a 0, then it will, or if you remove this, then complete code will be checked out. So there is no harm on that also. Okay. This is just a practice. Persist credential. So it is again, if I want to allow the Azure credential to be utilized here for the checkout. So this is a default things from Azure DevOps only. Okay, so that's why I kept this as a true. Now display name. So this is step. So what is the name of this step? So when you run a pipeline, there is a steps trigger, right? You will get multiple steps. So in these steps, only checkout will happen. So by this, we are segregating multiple steps by providing this. Okay. Now next is task. Again, task is also defined as a, there will be separate steps performed based on the task. Okay, under task we can have some predefined script triggered. Predefined script means we can have some libraries which can be installed, and later on the related command we can utilize here. If there is a PowerShell, then it will be PowerShell added the version and all. The latest 3 is available. So this is something you can get from market only. Okay, this is not a big thing. So these are the default that I am utilizing. I just want to have this bash command so that I can trigger my SFCLI and all, the command and all. So that will be our bash script. So I have utilized the bash script. Okay, for now, just try to understand. So here we have this command line, right? The same way, the command line we can write in bash, PowerShell, whatever. It's your choice. So I took this as a bash. Okay, any question here? Because if you have any small doubt, you can ask quickly. And the pace is right? Or it is slow or fast? If you can quickly give the feedback. The pace of the session, is it slow or fast? If you want it fast or you want it little slow, I can adjust accordingly. Okay, because the main aim is you understand it. It's not like just I am completing the task. Okay.
Hi
Okay,
Manish.
it
Hi
is
Manish.
fast.
Every time the target type is inline, is there any other type apart from inline?
Sorry,
In
can you?
inputs, everywhere the target type is inline. Is there any other type?
Yeah, there are other type also. Okay, if you are working in release sets and all, so there we can provide something different. But in YAML, if you are writing some script, so that will be inline only.
But I don't know what is inline. That's why I asked.
So inline means, so whatever thing will be present, that will be part as a script, the command.
Okay.
Okay, so these
Okay.
are the default. These are the default thing that will be utilized. So I will stop and I will give some time for question, because I got some feedback. This is little fast. Yeah, it may be.
Do we install the CLI manually, or is a part of the build process?
So it will be part of the build process only. So here you will see. So here this step is to install SFDX CLI and plugin. So I will also explain what is this. Okay. So why we are install, as I said now, like to utilize, to use our command, there will be some installation required. Even in our local system, you see this SF version, the Salesforce CLI version is 2.4, 2.6. So to have this, I have done the installation. I have downloaded that Salesforce CLI package and then installed it. Then only in my local system, I am able to run the command. So in virtual machine also, every time when there is a build, that so new machine is triggered, right? So we want to install the dependency, the libraries and all, so that our command will be utilized.
Okay, so first I need to install the CLI, right?
Correct, yeah. So this is
Okay.
the steps for that. Okay, tell me one thing. So because there is one more thing I will cover. I thought till delta I will explain, and then before that, after this, before going to the validation further part, I will do local setup. I will tell you the local setup for Salesforce. So what you want. So just be vocal, okay? Otherwise, I will not understand, right? So what you want, I will go according to you only. Whatever you want, is slow, fast, or if you want the practical time, I will give you. I'm happy to give that. Sorry. So we will have till here only today. Okay. So here I have done the checkout. Okay. And then, as I said, to perform the validation or to integrate with our Salesforce environment, we will be utilizing Salesforce command. That Salesforce command is a CLI command, that is command line command. Okay. And to trigger that command, the libraries need to be installed first. Otherwise, that command will not get supported. I already gave many example why I'm saying this. So that's why I will be having that installation in the virtual machine that is Ubuntu latest. Okay. And this is the steps. Bash means I will be writing my script in Bash. Okay. That's why I took this Bash added 3. It will have all the environment setup. Again, by this, I will get the environment. Like when I want to write some command, I want to check a version. So what I need to do? I need to open command prompt, right? The same thing is here. When I write this, the bash command will be opened in the backend. Okay. Now, so this is like default syntax, you can say. Okay. Consider this as a default syntax still here. Inline command means in like perfect line, there will be some command which will get executed. Okay. So here you can see script, and this is the command. This is first, this is second. Okay. npm installed global sfdx cli latest. So this is the command which is provided by Salesforce only. What is npm? So npm is a, you can say, for this sfdx cli, npm is some environment where they have created this package. Okay. Again, this is different thing. You don't need to understand deep on this. Like these are the default command that they have provided to install the sfdx cli. Sfdx cli is utilized for Salesforce so that we can run some command and communicate with the Salesforce. Okay. In MuleSoft there will be some other thing, right? Some prerequisite which you install. So why you are installing? We just need to understand, okay, we are installing because we have that things available and later on we can utilize it. So these are the default commands. So first one is npm install sfdx cli latest. By this we will have a authority to execute or run sfdx command, Salesforce command, and this last line is sfdx get delta. So what I'm trying to do by this line, I will give you. It's good to directly do the Google if you want to understand. I'm not doing this from my side only. This is which is offered by Salesforce. Okay. So I'll let me ping you this. Then I will also explain you by the chat. Okay. Now, look, I explained you the delta concept, right? So this SFDS Git Delta plugin is developed by Salesforce Architect. Okay. So they have developed this plugin which will help the DevOps team or any user to generate a delta at runtime with respect to pull request. Okay. So these days, many projects are utilizing this plugin, okay, which was developed by Salesforce to generate the delta. And the same thing I did here. I installed this plugin, okay, so that I can utilize the SFDS Git Delta command to have the delta generated for my pull request. Okay. So here, if I go to the post, you will see the meaning of it. Deploy difference between the two commit, 12 component push, 3 component removed. As I said, if there is new component or if you are updating any existing component, so that is considered as a delta. So with the help of SFDX Git Delta, we are only having that delta part package, and then that will be utilized for validation and deployment. In normal scenario, if you are considering whole branch as a package which will be used for a validation, then all the file need to be considered 1050 full deploy. Here it's delta deploy. So this plugin and the command that I will use will help us to generate a delta. As I said now, here it is good to see everything here. Okay, these are the changes, but how we will have this as a packed thing and then be available at some location from where we can pick this for our validation and deployment. So that thing we can achieve using this SFDX git delta plugin, and same plugin I am installing with the help of this command, this one. Okay, and maybe you can see this here as well, this same command. It's not like I have written by myself. Look, this is provided by in the documentation itself. Okay, the same way for any other application, they will provide you the penetration point, like which command you need to utilize, what libraries you need to download. So don't take load, okay, how I have referred this, because I know the concept, I have gone through with the documentation, like how to integrate. So that things I have gone through, and that knowledge I am sharing with you, so you are easily getting it right away. Okay, and same way I have received this knowledge from someone else, let's say in past. Any question here? I will commit it now. To have a delta, let me do some changes, right? Then only dev. So here are two changes we have. One is in build YAML one, I have like removed other changes, right? So till installation, the thing will be triggered. One. Look, mapping value are not allowed in this context. Line 9, column 16. Line 9, column 16. Source build one and line column 16. Display build package one. Now let me check here. So these are the look, these are real time things that I'm showing. So this type of issue you will face, and then you need to do your R&D. So what syntax? Because I have just removed many things right from here, and then I tried to see, okay, what is happening. Let's say side by side, and meanwhile you can ask any question. Okay, I am trying to solve it, and you can ask some question if you have any. Any question? With naked eye, it looks very clear. There is no issue. We're at 9, the display is here, so that's fine. Let me check here. So this will happen very annoying when you work in real world, because the like this work will, yeah, look, I have done something wrong. In line 9, I have given some space. You see, for testing, I have done provided some space, right? Display job.
Manish, this needs to be written manually or like we can.
Default you will get, and then manually you need to write, you need to add, because this is I done manually, right? So I have added each and every steps one by one. So this is not which will the default will be different, but this thing you need to write manually. Everything you will not get. There should be some manual stuff, right? Otherwise, how you will learn? Getting a point?
Okay.
Look, it's gone. Because YAML is very case sensitive, I will say. Even small changes space, it will show you error. But you will get, okay, where the exact issue is there. So after that, you need to debug, right? You need to give your eyes, okay, understand what is happening wrong. So there were some independent issues. The space was there, so I just corrected it. See, install SFDX CLI and plugin. This one steps got triggered. So as whatever I have explained here. So this is my self checkout and then installation. And same we can see here, checkout and then installation. This is happening. Now in our next class, what I will do first. So because I thought to give some extra flavor of this integration, that's why I started with this installation. Okay, so that we can progress somewhere from YAML perspective, apart from the Salesforce. Now in next class, using VS Code, the initial setup I will do means right having a Salesforce project and all, the Salesforce login through SFCLI, and then your local setup, so that you will be able to execute some command from local system. So you will get, okay, why we are doing this installation. Okay, so then you will get proper real-time experience in your local system, that why I said we need to install this Salesforce CLI. Because when I ask you to integrate, or you can say login from VS Code to your created Salesforce org using command, that time this will be eyes. There will be error, okay, there is no SF command and all. Then you need to download the SF CLI. I will guide you. So once that is done, then you will be able to run and authorize from the command itself from VS Code. And same steps we will just perform here in the script. Nothing difference. Apart from UI, I can help you having Salesforce CLI command from here itself. All the steps you can perform here. Okay. In new terminal, you can see git bash. You can utilize git bash or whatever, PowerShell, whatever you want to utilize. As I said, na, so this is must have to run any command. So the same thing I did here in the YAML. Okay. So what next? So what you say? That's it for today's session. Now I
Yes.
can take some other
Please
question.
upload last week's one video is pending, and this video as early as possible.
Yes, Ravi.
Okay.
The
So Ravi,
last
can you do
week.
needful? Yeah.
Manish, I do not have Salesforce in my local system. When I check the version, there is nothing in it. What I need to download?
Salesforce
Yes.
local version.
Yeah. You check with your command prompt. Is it necessary to have?
No. I said, I will in next class I will explain you everything how to have it in local. So
Okay.
here in virtual machine we have this, right? By doing
Yes, in
this,
virtual machine we have, in local machine we don't have.
correct. So that I will explain everything. Then I will come to this YAML. So it will be more related then. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And Ravi, if you can just upload the videos after this call, okay? So they can.
Let me double check. I think I have already uploaded all the video, but yeah, let me double check.
Okay, fine. Thank you, Ravi. Any other queries? Yeah.
Excuse me, Manish, the last one task bash at the date 03, is this code in the virtual machine?
Which one?
The last one, bash 03 at the rate 3.
So this is the version. 3 is the version of the bash.
Okay,
If I keep it 4, na, it will not support. The 4 is not available in the market.
okay,
Okay. So this virtual machine is created. Now in that virtual machine, to have the bash environment in Azure DevOps or like in Visual Studio Code, if you want to execute any bash command, what you will do? You will go to terminal, new terminal. From drop down, you will say, okay, bash, git bash. So you have a bash windows opened here, right? Now you can write any command you want to execute, correct? PowerShell, you can go for PowerShell. The same way, I want to run this command in bash. That's why to have that bash windows, you can just understand as a bash windows, this task is introduced. and this is which is the default. Like to utilize a bash, I need to provide like this only in Azure DevOps. They have provided this syntax. Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Any other queries? No.
No, Ravi, just please upload the last video and this video if possible. That will be.
Yeah, let me check if I missed the last video.